those chaotic situations on the defense as a rifler, and because Yugi is going to be really able to open things up with that AWP later on when we see them have the money to afford it.
We see good things on the B bomb site from Nico as well, and I would look to see more of that versus Astralis. And it might be good that Heroic is starting on the CT side, but let's see if they can win the pistol.
I mean, just to touch on Dan's point as well, when we had that successful E-League run, those were kind of the two players that we saw having the big impact. Yugi especially was like stepped up in a big way. So there's probably a good reason why those are the two players you name. Actually, this is sick. The aggression, it's such an oddly timed though, because he's caught out in the open, obviously.
Yeah, that's going to be a pain for Heroic. Astralis not desperate to plant the bomb just yet. Want to make sure they are as safe as houses before they do that. Hot flash with Dupree into connector. So far, so good for Astralis. They've got the whole bomb site. If Zipex looks on upper ground and a flank from Device. So it's a pretty solid pistol so far from Astralis.
Yeah, they're helped out on the initial hit by the fact that it's just that oddly timed aggression from Heroic where Nico's pushing it up. There's a nice shot, but he's directly above him. Yeah, I mean, you kind of like Heroic. They don't want to stay passive. They want to be proactive, and so you know Nico's trying to get up toward that corner again to kind of turn and get the information, and then he falls because they hit lower ramp, and then also Snappy is caught like looking the weird way on top of that train, and he's isolated from his team. And all the while, that's kind of a pistol round setup where you could see the idea. We see it pretty frequently sometimes. Is you know, Dupree pushing up sidewalk. He's pushing up towards connector. He's pop flashed in through the smoke to try and turn the corner and catch some blind players. Doesn't work according to plan, but they still have such an advantage that they do close it out.
Interesting thing in this round is that Kirby, he got the 4 kills in the pistol round, but he actually decided to just get a UMP. He had plenty of money. I think he's got maybe 2k left or something. He went for the UMP fight. So obviously Astralis have a specific plan in mind, and one of the reasons why the UMP might be superior as well to the AKs is it allows you to create space very quickly, as you can sort of run and gun more effectively, more confidently. And that's really important on rounds like this, just to quickly, you know, create that space and set up around a bomb train. And once the bomb is planted, the deagles really become really significantly worse.
Heroic's going to have a better 4th round than we're used to seeing CT sides have, though, because they didn't invest in armor on everyone. You know, there's going to be some more nades coming out. Those are some great kills. And I think Astralis now just says, oh god, let's stop chasing. And Heroic is going to have a pretty dangerous 3rd round coming up as well if they keep these 3 deagles alive. There is one player, Dupree, coming behind them at Ivy. And they actually might turn into him right here. Oh, that nade's going to give it away. No, it's... Oh, Yugi just... He's prepared.
Well, they can spread those deagles and keep the UMPs.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, that ended up doing much more damage than it should have done, the deagles. You almost, for Astralis, just want them to just have a great economy. But being the T side, you can definitely take bigger risks to your own economy as your buys are less.
And it's much easier to dictate, you know, if you have a round where you have 2 rifles saved up and it's weak everywhere else. This is also a mess tag. He does great damage. I almost wish he would have been able to get a kill out of that, but trying to make something happen with the UMP. But yeah, back to the T side is if you just save 2 rifles, right? You get to pick that they're the 2 weapons that make the initial contact.
Build around it. Tailor the round.
We talk about the AWP on Yugi, but he's always getting kills with the deagle. Just as Snappy's always getting kills with the CZ. And Dupree can't even necessarily, well, I guess he could have peeked as that rifle was collected, but with 19 HP, it is a risk. But now Snappy with an AK and Kevlar. This is a tricky round for Astralis. They're just waiting for, I think, somebody to have another look towards Ivy. They've got time to wait, but no one's biting right now.
They're waiting for Zipnix to get into position. I think he's either going to try and make something happen towards the B bomb site or come down ladder and maybe be the one to initiate. He's got the most utility as well. Actually, he's got the only utility. So I think a fake towards the inner bomb site might be the play just because it's easy to throw smoke. He doesn't even really have to create presence. He just has to throw the nades.
Well, he's doing that, and Modi will be rotating towards that site. So the push finally comes out towards A, and now the game is up because the bomb is on the radar. That's going to cause a full rotation back towards the A side, but will it come in time? Yugi is just one shot away from 2 of these players. Zipex just has enough to survive 1 bullet from Yugi, unless it's in the face. And there he goes. It's in the face.
That's not good. That was their most HP, and that's Zipnix. You want him alive in these clutches, obviously. This is great for Heroic. They can turn this one right around.
They have to bait the players out of position though, and they need to move faster than they are because they don't have a kit anywhere in sight. So got to speed things up at this point. Modi will be starting to grind these corners around the train itself, the bomb train, but he can't find any opponents, and you can see that now they just want to get out of dodge here, and Yugi maybe trying to catch someone slightly trying to escape, but perhaps not. Astralis will take the rounds, but Heroic have picked up 2 AKs for their troubles.
Yeah, I guess they couldn't keep track of how much damage had been done, because obviously if they knew, they have to go for it.
Yeah, but even if you don't know, the fact that it's a 2-on-2 with the full bomb timer, you would have liked to see more aggression. I mean, it's not the biggest deal. They get away with 2 AKs, and going into a 4th round, they were still going to have a pretty solid buy no matter what, but able to have kits, able to have a little bit more nades is super nice with those 2 saved AKs, but you would have liked to have seen them challenge for that on some level.
Yeah, and if you win a run like that, you get a lot of bonus money for it. Yugi, taste of his own medicine. Straight in the jaw, cousin. Astralis will continue to harass the A site. Grenades flying in all over the place as Dupree moves forward, but his footsteps will be heard by a player who's close, but S-Tag will be flashed off for the time being. Dupree hears the grenade being primed, and he'll get punished for that. This was a complete wipeout. Snappy with a fast 2K, but that's all Heroic will do in that round. There are some people who complain about the noise you get, the sound cue from throwing a grenade like that, but then right-click grenades like that whenever in the game before. I know Launders had an issue with it, for example, but I know some pros. I think NBK has complained about it before as well, some months ago.
I like the noise from the right click. I don't like the noise from the left click.
Yeah, I like the noise. That's a good point. I like the noise from the right click.
I think the underhanded throw would be so overpowered if you couldn't hear the pin coming out. Like
It'd be
it also takes the teamwork out of the game, right? Because you can just basically throw your own pop flashes.
Yeah. Yeah, the left click is an interesting one though. As an individual discussion, maybe there is a conversation to be had.
One of the cool things I like that I think my person to watch on Astralis at the moment is, Device is obviously the star, but I really like watching Dupree at the moment, just because I know one of the things I've always been critical, or not always, but that, recently that I've been critical for Astralis is they don't seem to have that player who will be the one to like take over the game, be the force that kind of opens things up for the rest of the team at all times. Like if Device isn't getting a pick, if the execution's not working, you want a player who's just going to be like,
Oscar.
Yeah, sure. I mean, personally no, but
you want Oscar.
but you need like a player who's just going to be like, I will create the opportunities for the rest of the team. I'll get aggressive. I'll be the individual guy who, maybe this isn't the best decision, but I'll just go win a fight somewhere.
So you're talking about Fur?
Yeah, that's fine as well. I'd take Fur. But Dupree is starting to be that guy for the Astralis side of things, and I know even Blake said that, in our kind of interview of him was, Dupree is that guy who's starting to be a little bit more assertive across the map, and we're kind of putting him in positions. And you'll notice on like Mirage, he's the one who will go up A ramp. Like he'll just choose a round to go up an A ramp and take a fight towards the bomb site, try and win it. Here he's very aggressive towards Ivy. Obviously, knowing he's going to be against pistols, he's probably more so aggressive. But on the previous gun round, he pushed towards Old Hell. So he seems to be the kind of one who's saying, "I'll be the playmaker when we need it," which is very cool to see.
Yeah, it's also been going off a bit more lately too.
Double D's, Device and Dupree, when they're both going off, it's a great pair.
That was like the deadly duo for this Danish side when they were like coming up, right? When like even back when Fetish was on the team, and then when they were TSM and everything like that. I mean, this is really rolling back the years. They've always been the two guys. There it is again.
Just walks through, he hears the reloads and punishes S-Tag for it.
Nice.
S-Tag just trying to be honest, hiding while he reloads, emerges for the last time. 5 versus 3, Heroic getting annihilated at the moment. Annihilated.
Dupree is just a gamer right now.
He's an angry gamer.
He's got somewhere to be tonight, I think. That must be what it is. He just wants to get this over with.
Korean barbecue.
I love watching his CG side on this map too. Between him and Device, actually, we've seen that they have really good aggressions. He's going to be your pop dog guy, or your guy getting in the nitty-gritty action up close and personal, maybe in T-main as well. If there's a pop flash to be thrown, he's going to be the guy getting in there. And then you've got Device on the AWP, playing the long ranges, playing the support, and being the rock at the bomb site. And I love that dynamic, and it's when it works, it's very crushing. It's very hard to defeat. So,
well, another fast tactic from, or at least from Glaive. Smokes out, causing confusion, and Astralis this whole time has just lurked one player out. And they've caused a full rotation. They obviously do not know it yet, or else the bomb would be in the B site. But Glaive now has a great chance to prevent rotations from going back towards B. More distractions coming out. Actually, it looks like the bomb is coming back outside, so they're going to have a duel. This one's just Turkey shooting these AK-47s. Everyone from Astralis winning these fights. Even Mahdi is here, and he's been spotted out as well. He does get one kill, but a suffocating attack onto that outer site. And everyone from Astralis is over 10,000. Not anymore after the buys.
Nice. Solid stuff. Solid stuff. Is there an answer? Heroic, that is the question. We're not seeing enough auto snipers at the moment in Counter-Strike.
I think we're seeing a pretty good amount.
I feel like I haven't seen any for ages on Train, on Inferno. They're less. I mean, they weren't very popular on Mirage. I was never a fan of them on Mirage. I know Karrigan would like to use it on CT, but I mean,
I think it's just gotten. I think it's one of those weapons that I think they've found it's not as great as it once was.
We need an overpass.
Well, this is the round over.
Astralis is just peeling Heroic apart, aren't
I mean, that was just Devices peeking down the ramp and immediately killing Nico.
Nico's having a rough game. I think Nico's only got like one kill.
Yeah,
Zero.
I mean, you can't blame him too much there as well. Like being the only point of contact on the B side, Device just straight. I think that was just a raw peek, and just gets the instant kill.
Well, and as well, I mean, you have to remember, think also how Astralis has set that up. They've been abusing the outer bomb site. Dupree's been a monster. Glaive's gotten out. Dupree towards Ivy. Dupree towards Old Hell. And then this time they just switch things up and they go back towards Inner. And I think because of all the success that Astralis had at the A bomb site, Heroic's just saying we can't really cheat anyone back.
Yeah, they have committed them to having 4 players in early round timings towards A instead of B, and then that's when you have that player you can isolate and you win the round off of it.
The 1-2 punch, so to speak.
Absolutely. It's working out really well. It's a good... perhaps this would be a good sort of study for someone to do if they're an in-game leader, prospective in-game leader, and you're looking at sort of how to call rounds, how to read a game. This has been a nice selection from Astralis, how they've actually called things. Because it's all going well, you can more easily isolate the decisions why the calls have been made as Glaive has made them. So back to the more of a default here without any presence towards Inner. And there it is, finally a wrench to be thrown in the works, courtesy of Yugi, but Zipex won't let that stop him.
That's got to be an annoying duel. Trying to spray someone who's going up and down a ladder, and then they kill you while you're standing there. Makes no sense, but there we go. Luck is not with Heroic on this day.
Nico's on the board. And now they've the op of Yugi coming alive as well. So there's the answer. Get a couple picks, whittle them down. And this is Astralis. They haven't really done a great job of trading. Doesn't seem to have been like the strategy of this round. But Dupree is still alive, and we know what he can do.
He does seem a bit more lively than before. Like he's got a bit of spring to his step.
Listen, when you have that round that he had coming out of Ivy and getting 4 kills, like you're gonna feel pretty damn confident in the game. But yeah, overall, his game has taken like a turn to be more aggressive, which is interesting, right? Because the conversation around him, like, And then some of the role changes they did in Astralis, you know, in the Glave's first couple months there was like, yeah, Dupree's going to start looking a little bit more. Dupree's going to get less and less aggressive, and now he's back.
Good. Good. I hope it stays. Needs to be this way.
I love aggression. All I know is aggression. Astralis sending players towards the B bomb site. A different approach this time. Let's tag over towards Ivy. I wonder if he'll get curious later on. In the meantime, Astralis will establish control and presence above the B bomb site. And I'll keep 2 CTs here. Yugi falling off the angle a little bit. I like that angle, the off angle there.
Both teams have used a lot of nades early on. This is looking like it's going to be a fake. The bomb is still towards team mid, but how many people are going to actually commit towards the inner site? This is so much utility. Look at the reaction as well. Zipnix is going to get a great angle on Nico, but he can't win that, and there's Snappy. And now that shows the fake is coming. Destroys both of them, and even gets a third. Is not the man you would have expected to be the anchor of that defense, but a great round from him, certainly.
The kills that he made where he just confidently gets headshots from directly below the players, looks like he looks way too comfortable in that angle. That's brilliant. Like this for example. Yeah, pretty damn snazzy work.
Yeah, maybe it's that confidence born from getting demolished 2 to 8. And you're just like, well, just gotta take the fight, don't I?
Astralis, their money's starting to get low. All that good work is slowly disappearing. You don't need to give Yugi too many opportunities before he will scalp you, but Zipex has a superior angle over Nico, looking for some info. Nico will continue to have a bad game over towards B. And that will leave, I think, Snappy over there on his own. Yes. 3 people in the A bomb site in the meantime. 4 on 4. Minute mark for Astralis. Had Dupree over towards Ivy once again, but there are CTs there.
He would have loved to make some progress down Ivy, but well, I think once the AWP rings out, he just doesn't want to mess with it whatsoever. So 50 seconds for Astralis to decide what they want to do, and the tough part is they need to get down ladder if they want to hit this outer bomb site. There is a player there defending it. So how exactly are they going to manage it? He's inside now. That's a well-timed flashbang, and they actually managed it perfectly. There's that nade straight down, the flashbang straight down to the blade.
Great flick from Yugi, though, from Green Train. That's going to put things down to a 3-on-3 with 30 seconds to play with. Bomb will go down, though, to put the clock onto the CTs instead of the Ts. And now they can take post-plant positions. You've got to be pretty comfortable if you're Astralis now in this position, although Heroic still have fight left in them. They don't need grenades, though, but they have kits aplenty. There's Tag finding his way around here. Beautiful angle to work off of. Now he knows exactly where the 2 remaining players are, trying to put the pressure on so Yugi can get something done. But it looks like that's not going to be the case here. Yugi with an impossible task, 2 players from 2 angles, and that's him out of there.
Yeah, really nice from Astralis. It looked like there was an opportunity there when they kind of didn't have eyes on the one lane that was walked down that middle lane. So a chance there for Oak to kind of turn that back into their favor, but the post plants are just too strong. I mean, you have Glaive and Zipnix just playing, you know, one in team main, one in ladder. They can juggle aggression from that position all day long. And that is a well-done round from Astralis, and the double-up setup is going to come out from Heroic, and this is the last buy, the last chance they really have to get into this half.
Yeah, 2 rounds is not enough, quite simply. Will not cut it. See if Astralis leave them with blunt scissors. Initial smokes are down. There's a push through Ivy from the Heroic side, and Dupree may have a look over there. He's close to main at the moment. But nothing doing just yet. In the meantime, Astralis will head towards the B area, where there are 2 CTs.
The unfortunate part about that for Heroic is they got so much information, but I feel like you can't really cheat more players over to the inner bomb site than you already have been too, and Nico's already down towards 15 HP. Now the rotation will come in. This is actually a pretty clever strategy. Look at this player out the A bomb site. He's about to wrap in and find 1 kill. It's an awkward timing. It was Glaive who gets 1 and is traded off, and there goes Snappy exposed in the open. But that's pretty sick from Astralis. I don't think we've seen that kind of an idea too frequently.
How did Glaive get into connector through A?
Had to have been some well-designed smokes. That's like an old 1.6 strategy. Like, I don't know if, you know, you guys maybe not have watched as much, but like that was one of like the tactics in 1.6 that was like, that could actually work. You could do some rushes outside towards that connector, that Z connector to get into the B bomb site. Especially, it was used for more than just lurking. And Glaive seemed to do a little bit of it there. I want to see that. I want to see it again. I've always said, Dan, we need more 1.6 strategies in CSGO.
I remember those days. Good old 1.6 days. Also, just so people know, for context, if you got 1 round or 3 rounds on the T-side of train in 1.6, that was considered a good half. That was considered an expected half. 3 rounds was like, yes! Oh, thank God, we've got the 3 rounds. This is great.
You want to know the weird thing about Train in 1.6 was I swear to God there were matches where, like, you're right, like it was one of those maps where it was like 13-2 is like, you know, that's just standard for CT side.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, 2 teams would play each other and it would be like 11-4, the T side would get 11. And the weird thing about it is that when that happened, when they switched sides, it would always happen the other way as well. Like, it would always be T-sided in the same match for both teams.
So weird, so weird. Yeah, very different times. Oh, did play around the smoke there from Heroic. And we'll find them to kill. Astralis fighting back though, having success around the ladder position thanks to Zipex, the pop dog position. Snappy though. Ooh, I mean, I'm not sure if he would have had a good angle, but spots Zipex. Kirby though catches him going across. Bit exposed there, it was Snappy. Now S-Tag, he really needs to just make sure he can hold on to this position. He doesn't necessarily want to take an immediate engagement here. Potentially good angle through the smoke. Dupree will take him down though. Dupree's been very crisp so far.
Oh, there's one shot from Yugi. HP doesn't matter so much at this point. Just about the kills. Moving forward, he doesn't have a kit either. And they won't make it easy for him, so surely he's got to turn tail and save. Being down by 8 rounds with only 2 on the board and having to save again has got to be frustrating. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it really is. It's so difficult to handle mentally. I mean, you just know you're getting battered. Dupree's having a really dirty game. 15-7 for him. He's had some phenomenal impact kills as well. It's not just the volume of them. They've been quality frags, haven't they? Caribbean at 12 as well. And it just seems to at a certain point, like I always hate to like reduce it to this level, but I mean, if you're heroic, like you have to just get kills at a certain point. Like when you're standing your ground, like, you know, over towards, there was that Snappy with the AWP just gets completely, his attention gets distracted by Zipnix and Glaive just eliminates him, but he was out in the open. There's a good kill from him with the Deagle. I don't know if that was a blind shot or maybe there's a crack in that smoke.
Well, he's going to push forwards, he wants more, and he might just get it. Very close to getting it, can't quite find the frag just yet in this position. Well and truly understood by the T side of Astralis as they continue to press the pressure onto the A site. And now it's just going to be down to 3, and with Yugi, the only man with an actual gun, might make life a bit difficult. Indeed, 3 players surviving, 12 rounds for Astralis now, as Heroic really having a tough time getting anything going on this CT side.
I mean, also you consider that at a certain point you just need to start scrounging buys together. You know, you need rounds more than you can afford to save. So that's probably part of the story as well for why this half is so spread out towards Astralis' favor. This is pretty decent though. There's an op in Yugi, and then there's 4 M4s. There's some utility. There's a couple of kits as well. So some tools for Heroic to work with. But those tools are gonna disappear pretty quickly. All this utility is being used early on to stop fast aggression and fast pressure from Astralis.
Once I stepped on a snail while wearing socks. I feel like Heroic are getting overwhelmed in the same fashion. Just a giant crushing force.
Oh, wait, I thought you were going to go the other way and just say it was like the goo you had to get off your socks was...
No. That was a very uncomfortable texture on the arch of my foot. It must be said. 1 minute mark for Astralis. They look towards the A bomb site. 3 players around main for the T side. Heroic are in aggressive positions. That's an important first frag for Body, being very careful about the duels he chooses to take. Doing some extra damage. Yugi in the meantime will get another kill. He's being teased. He sees an elbow towards the A site, but Glaive will take him down. Glaive around the site. Glaive's been a problem on this A site. S-Tag has to get 2. Nico will take one of them though. That'll leave Device alone. 25 seconds. Picks up an AK. He knows where both these players are now. He has opportunity for 1 versus 1, but it's down to them to simply waste time. They have no grenades. He spots ahead, but he won't be given a second opportunity. Nico jumping up, and that will be a very desperate 3rd round on the board for Heroic.
Yeah, there's not too much to write home about there. They didn't seem like they were able to stop him. Glaive had a really good half as well, I think, with some impact. Because that last round was great from him. But Dupree is really the highlight for me for Astralis, and at 12-3, going into the CT side. We have to remember as well, I mean, one of the unfortunate things, and maybe Heroic kind of fell into this trap, this train map is one that Astralis has been picking recently. It always used to be like the map they settled for. They were willing to play, and now they're just like, yeah, we quite like playing train these days.
Yeah, you can't really blame them. Their T side's great, their CT side even better. So this is going to be tough, and Device with a fadeaway kill. Headshot long range from that USP. Zipex holding things down on the close range. Is even able to get another kill and prevents Heroic from making any progress towards that connector to close down distances. Right now, Heroic are being completely overwhelmed. Yugi looking to offer something. Burst comes out, but the trades will be good here for Astralis. It's simply too many players.
Listen, when the burst comes out of the Glock, you know it's desperate
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah. It's not as glorious as the burst was in 1.6, although it was useless in 1.62, but if you got really close to somebody...
Dude, burst fire was one of my favorites.
It was so satisfying.
Did you see that Neo kill from Epicenter, the burst fire he had?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, you've missed some things, Dan. Listen, I'll show you some things after this that will blow your mind.
Okay, I may have seen it, I'm not sure.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, you did not see it.
Yeah, it was hard to catch a lot of the Epicenter games because we were broadcasting all the time, but...
Yeah.
P90 on Dupree.
His pistol shot on Cobblestone.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
Jumping out the
Dan
window.
apparently hasn't seen it yet.
Is that burst fire?
That was burst fire.
Oh, I thought it was a single shot.
No, that was burst fire.
That's insane. That was amazing. That is one of the craziest shots I've seen in a very long time. I always love a good P. I should buy the P90 more.
No, you should please, James. Don't be that guy.
I love a bit of P90. I love it. Yes. But you need a death by Kitty.
It's a decent skin.
That's
this one?
That's an old skin. That's rolling back the years.
Yeah, it's glorious. It is glorious. Well, it is crunch time for Heroic, moving into the site. Dupree will move back. I think that's the most important way. He might have liked it, but maybe it's for the best. Glaive flanking with the MP9, and Heroic still need to get close to the site. They still need to try and plant the bomb. And, well, there's 3 of the 4 of them, but the bomb is not quite committing here, and Bonnie's lost it now. And that is a problem. That's a huge problem. I wonder what exactly was going on there.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why that was happening, why the bomb wasn't with him. I do love what Astralis did, though. I wish more teams would do this. And if you're a new player, if you're a lesser experienced team playing at the lower levels, you can take notes of that route from Astralis, because the execute comes out, and Astralis does nothing to respond. They know all they have to do is protect the bomb site, and they just kind of stay at the bomb site. No one really exposes themselves. They don't give any kills over to Heroic, and then Heroic with pistols is just like, what do we do now? Like, where do we go? Once like since they don't get any initial success, they have nowhere to nothing to actually do in that round. And if you could just do that, you're gonna win some games. Sometimes the best thing to do is to do nothing.
Look, Jason. The evil in the world wins when good men do nothing. Okay.
Precisely. Ooh.
Good men are being slaughtered. The good men had only Eagles. Few good men.
It's a good flick.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
(15-3). Astralis continuing Domination. Heroic unable to find success in general on train. Now it's come to this. It's come to this, guys. 4 Eagles and some grenades. Yes! Oh.
Oh no.
The P90 could have been so great. And now S-Stack has it.
That phrase should never be said. The P90 could have been so great.
The P90 is a purifier. The P90 has biblical implications. It's glorious. It's cleansing. I was reading. I was watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and somewhere in America, I can't remember where. I think maybe Arizona. They built a life-size Noah's Ark.
Awesome.